Hey, it's Russ Payton with Roleplay in Public Radio. This is Imperium Maledictum, the Endius Mandate, Session 4. In the last session, our agents of Nat captured the first of the 3 psykers they need to capture as part of their secret mission for the Adeptus Administratum. And they have returned with, I believe, Nova, and have secured her in the jail in the Orphanarium. And now they have set their sights on Gideon, who is in the agricultural sector. And so we'll do, but of course you have some downtime. So we have time for events and endeavors. Yay.
Ta-da.
So we'll start with Noah, who's playing Khurt Neksilp. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. Hi, it's me, Noah. Like Ross just said, I'm playing Khurt Neksilp, the Ashramil Scout Penumbra sneaky guy. Mm-hmm. And I'm rolling on the events table.
And also somehow the only one who has any ability to talk to anybody.
You have 240 experience points. You can all solve that problem. I don't want to hear that anymore.
No,
you
never.
Can make a choice.
You know what? At this point, I refuse. I'm not going to do it.
I considered spending some of my points on a way to make me even less able to talk to people, but I decided not to.
I'm going to be honest. I feel like that would be antithetical to like my character.
For you,
in the
you
game.
have a reason, yeah,
For you, yeah.
But there's 3 other players. And anyway, sorry.
I almost gave myself the disturbing voice talent, but I decided not to.
Anyways,
use the voice. I rolled a 41 crackdown there, Ross.
Okay, yeah, we'll say there's a big
collect a bunch of orbs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that game.
The local authorities have declared a lockdown. Vigilant. Yeah, they patrol the street in search of infractionists. Yeah, so you have all disadvantage on all tests to undertake illicit activity or endeavors during this downtime. So yeah, I would say there's been there's a lot of mutants coming into the Hive City for some reason. There's just this. They're all coming from the industrial sector. Like there's just waves of mutants looking for space and looking to move. Now that the siege has been lifted. Oh yeah. Also the battle's over, and so a lot of soldiers have come home. The fortress has fallen in a catastrophic battle, devastating both House Paxo and House Vanderguard sides. So yeah, there's a lot of deserters and mutants and scavengers flooding the Hive City, and so there's a crackdown. Yeah, that makes sense. So let's go next with the Harrow.
Yay! What page is the table on for?
229 or 230?
Okay.
Yeah, 230 of the PDF. Yeah.
Gotcha.
And Thad, who are you playing?
Oh yes, hello. I'm Thad still again, and will continue to be. I am playing the Harrow, who is a former still weird, but a voidborn former psychic vigilante, now, pawn of the Adeptus Astra Telepathica, doing the will of justice as so far as I understand it, with a lot of becoming imperceptible and shooting people in the back. And generally having a grand old time.
Makes sense.
Blew up a train. It's a good time.
Yeah, that was pretty dramatic. I remember.
I rolled a 100.
Ooh. A very important visitor. You cross paths with a very important individual. Let's see here. A senior member or orbital place. Ooh. Oh man. You may choose to make a key -30 social test. If successful, you manage to impress them. Gain +1 influence with that faction to a maximum +2. If you fail, your influence falls by +1. I'll let you choose if you want to. I'll let you choose who's coming. Like what faction, and obviously it's a big Hive City. There's tens of millions of people, so any number of VIPs could be visiting. You cross paths with them. Do you try and make a show and gain influence with that faction?
I do not. I am the wrong person to try to do that. If any of my social skills, let me see, would be pretty bad to try and.
You can spend fate points to give yourself bonuses, I believe, or at least reroll.
Oh yeah, because you can get advantage by spending a fate point. But I lost. I burned one last session, so now
you
I'm
only start
starting
with 2.
two.
Yeah, that's how that works. All right, yeah. You could just sit back, and I would say by default it would probably be like a high Magos Dominus of the tech priests. Visiting. He's you know what? Maybe the ship fucking finally arrived. The judge.
There we go.
Yeah, but the your tech priest buddy has now MIA. So he is. Let's see who is the guy. What was the guy's name? The train man. What did I put? That was session 2 actually. Who was it? Spinoza. Yeah, so Spinoza's still working for you now. So yeah, so yeah, you're like, oh well, I shouldn't tell Spinoza about that.
My I'm assuming by social skills it would be either like rapport or presence, essentially.
I would. You know what? Honestly, if you want to, it could be logic if that's higher, since it's or tech use.
Oh no.
Because,
any of my stuff that doesn't have to do with like psychic powers, awareness of surroundings, and discipline are essentially useless. Okay. I am a creature of psychic bullshit and like general like keeping an eye out for things. That's all I got.
Okay. Well,
so I think this is just going to be a waste on me. Like it says I can choose to make the social test. I'm not going to try and impress them. The Harrow is not actually that interested in impressing people.
All right.
The only ones the Harrow wants to impress are those who are caught in the crosshairs of justice, and he will impress the Emperor's will upon them is what will happen. And that's not what's needed here. So
all right. Very good. Next up we have V. Who are you playing again?
Hi, friends. It's V again. Yeah, I am playing Rabbit, our little voidborn Astromilitarum analyst who likes her books and her autoquill and not much else.
All right. And what did you roll for your event?
I just rolled, 86.
Victory celebration. Well, we'll say it's the fortress has fallen. You know, the House Paxo is celebrating in the city. So the characters who choose to take part in the celebration feel rested and rejuvenated and may ignore the next fatigue condition they acquire. So you can party. That sounds like it would take up an endeavor. So that's up to you. But yeah, it's pretty nice.
Right. You're welcome, everybody.
So there's a crackdown and a party going on at the same time.
It's fine.
And a big higher up, and the tech priest is showing up. It's just another day in the Hive City.
What's going on?
And then finally, of course, we have Kara, who's playing Lim.
I am playing Lim. Lim is our very young, very short null. She grew up at the very bottom of a hive city as a sort of uncomfortable totem to be passed around from gang to gang to literally make other people miserable, and has been rescued, as she sees it, by the Emperor, who has her undying loyalty. And let us roll 58.
58. Let's take a look. Unexpected gift. So this is a piece of common equipment selected by the GM. But something useful to you has been left in your quarters while you were absent, shoved into your hands, or simply assigned to you years ago. All right, common gear.
My only stummer, so I'm out.
Common
gear.
Yeah, I'll have to. You know what? You can come up with 3, and I'll pick one of the 3. How's that? So.
No, it's more fun if I make you do
it. All right, you know what? You got me there.
Come on, Ross, Game Master. Jeez.
I know. I'm trying to find where is the equipment? It is a large book, and
it is armory. That's all. Weapons.
And
tools and equipment. 143.
143. Thank you. It has to be common though. So I guess it could be a weapon or armor, but it still has to be common.
I actually already have 2 sets of armor, weirdly enough.
Okay. So let's see. Probably you already have a lace cutter. Oh, you know what? You can't go wrong with this. It's a grapnel launcher.
Hell yeah.
Grapple
Always
hooks.
a good choice.
Yeah, God. Classic adventuring gear. Can't believe you don't have it already. So yeah. Yeah, you can. I forgot. What is it? Awareness? Is it awareness or notice for this game?
Awareness.
Awareness. You can make an awareness check if you kind of want to figure out who gave you this piece of equipment.
Yeah, let me see. Boop, boop, boop. Awareness. My awareness is 41.
No, it's challenging +0, so yeah.
Oh, wait, shit. No, that's a nat 1.
Oh, it was definitely Spinoza. The tech priest, being so alienated from humanity, sees you as a kindred spirit of sorts because, Spinoza wants to remove as much of the flesh as his own possible. And yeah, he isn't as bothered by your unique nature as others. So, yeah.
Yeah.
That's so heartwarming.
Yeah, he hate us because he ain't us.
Yeah. So now we got endeavors. You've already bolstered the defenses of the Orphanarium. Campaign of Whispers, you don't really... And combat, you could do combat training as a group, or if you all have ideas for individual endeavors, you can let me know. Let's see here. Of course, illicit ones are going to be... I forgot, did anybody need medical treatment? That would be... I don't think so.
No, I think we managed to get everybody back up and running last time.
You could do devout worship, try and get more fate. You could do some drilling, training, consult a savant, any number of things. So you do know that you need to go to the agricultural sector for this mission and get Gideon, who is at the village's name is Wheatblood. And it is at the far end of the ag sector. And there's two ways you found out to get there. One is to hire on as truck drivers, but to deliver supplies. But the other one, which sounded more appealing to you, was to go undercover as medics for the Medicaid office to investigate potential plague outbreak. And that is so basically the equivalent of the Red Cross and going there. So it seemed from the last session that you were all more interested in that, so we can pursue that once we figure out all of your endeavors. But that is something you could angle your endeavor at, is trying to figure out how to go undercover for that. So yeah, I mean, so this is sort of like the you doing the groundwork and preparing for this next job. So I'll let you do your endeavor as part of this preparation phase. You can kind of like find out a little bit about either method to get you there before you use your endeavor, So yeah, does anybody want to like research or look into one of these two methods, or like what those would entail? Like, that the Medicaid office is looking for people to go to Wheatblood to investigate the plague. It's hard to find volunteers for that kind of job, but so yeah. Or does anybody know what they want their endeavor to be?
Okay, let me take a look here.
Don't forget, you could also party.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, you could just party and ignore a fatigue condition if it comes up during the game. Also, just good role playing. You caught one of these psychers. Devout worship is always pretty. Training rights.
Yeah. I mean, my odds are pretty low, but I think I'm going to go with devout worship because there's, at the very least, not a punishment for failing.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Lore. What is my lore? It's pretty low.
I like that it's a lore chest. Like, you have to know enough in order to pray right, rather than just a sign of devotion and will, like, and focus. Like, that seems...
Shit!
Yeah.
I rolled a 17 under 28.
Hey!
Oh, damn.
All right. You got an extra fate point to spend.
Right. So I have 3 out of 2 today.
Yep.
But only until the end of session.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah, actually, Rabbit, you could make a lore check, or I need to look at the skill list again to understand a little bit about the job, going undercover, like what that would entail. Yeah.
It's probably not the worst idea. Like, I know I've got the best Medicaid, and we got our little medic bot last time, right? That was our thing. We got a little
a little medic servo skull.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. You have a little guy with you.
So, and Rabbit's not the one for parties, if as weird as that sounds, for everything we know about Rabbit. So yeah, I think that was kind of probably the way I was gonna.
Okay, well, give me a lore check first before you decide what you want to do for your endeavor, because you probably know like what the protocols for this would be if you succeed. This is an easy +20.
You'd think that I would, but I don't. I rolled an 88.
Okay. Yeah, you got this.
Rabbit has forgotten how to read.
Okay.
Look, here's the thing. I'm very overwhelmed by people telling me that there's like a party, but then there's also a lockdown. There's a lot of like conflicting things going on right now, and it's just it's an overstimulation for poor little Rabbit.
Also, yeah, realizing that you had a hand in those events that are now affecting the Hive City, like actually having an impact on society. Kind of weird. Yeah. Okay. Well, let me know what you want for your endeavor. Khurt, do you know?
Yes, I would like to build up some income. And I would like to do that with some underground prize fighting.
All right. Yeah, what's that?
Melee.
Yep, melee. A +0.
All right. Well, that didn't work out. I'll spend a fate point, sure. I'll spend a fate point to flip that.
Yeah.
So it is 27 under 48.
Okay.
Which gives me 6 levels, so that's 200 solars.
Yeah. So you come back a little bloody, little bruised, and extremely sweaty. But yeah. There's a lot of victory. There's a lot of solars floating around now. People love to watch a good fight. You do get invited to the underground elite matches, but those are death matches. You're like, yeah.
How many solars did you give us last time?
I think it was 50 or 100.
Okay.
I don't know if anybody wrote it down. Is
20? I have in my notes 240 XP, 1 rare/scarce item for the entire group, and then 20 solars.
Okay. Yeah. There we go.
All right.
Cool. That's very good. So you got a little extra money, walking around money. Lim, do you know what you want to do for your endeavor?
Yes. I want to gain weapons proficiency in my grappling hook. My grapple. Shit, it's not hook, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Words are hard.
It's a grapnel launcher. So yeah.
In my launcher.
Yeah.
I am
Yes,
I am Batmaning my way through. I'm doing the glide down. It's happening. I'm very busy in the prison, grappling in and out.
Okay. So, do you want to use... I could see this happen in a couple of ways. One is exhaustive drilling, or 2 training rights. Exhaustive drilling just happens. It lets you ignore any fumbles that you get with that weapon. Or training rights, if you make a test with it, then you can get a free advantage on it when you use this. So... do you want to be safer and not fumble, or do you want to possibly get an advantage?
I want to be safer and not fumble.
Okay. Yeah. So just drilling with it. Yeah. You're not going to just remind me if you make any kind of test with that, the launcher, you will not fumble with it. So you won't accidentally, launch it into the back of the skull of someone in front of you, or rip off your fingers when you shoot or anything like that. Yeah. So, and then finally V. Do you know what Rabbit wants to do? Yeah.
Yeah. So okay.
Mm-hmm.
I know that we're not there yet, but could I use scout surroundings as a research Wheatblood? That was a lot of bleh sounds.
Yeah.
Could I do that ahead of time?
Yeah, I'm sure. I'd allow that. Yeah. It's a pretty well documented sector. They have maps. It's pretty trivial to find them. The trucking companies and the orphans, you have allies who can get you maps. Like the orphans just steal them from the trucking companies. Yeah. So yeah, they're with your cunning little hands, and they're So yeah.
Okay, great. All right. Fantastic.
So yeah, so I think that's everyone's endeavor. So we can you have a choice as a party. I think you all sort of indicated you wanted to do the Medicaid office undercover thing. So who wants to go sign? Do you want to all go sign up the group, or do you want one person to just go and sign up all of you?
I think it's probably better for one person to do it.
All right. Do you want Khurt?
Should I be doing that?
Everyone slowly turns to look at Khurt.
Yeah.
I was thinking that Rabbit should probably go as the one who actually has Medicaid knowledge, so it could be Khurt and Rabbit together showing up as a cool duo buddy cop comedy.
Okay, all right.
I did pick up some medical skill in the interim, I can now use the chaotic fires of the warp to put flesh back together.
Oh, sure.
Fun.
If you need if you need healing, I can do that.
Great.
Cool.
All right.
The only one likely to be tainted by it is me. It is of no risk to yourselves.
Oh, okay. Don't worry about it. So the two of you get to the Medicaid office, and when you mention that you want to sign up for this the job, and so you're directed to Tasha Yeagsberg, a supervisor in the office, and she takes you into her office, stacked up with papers. There's a little servo skull scanning items or taking data slates from one cogitator to the other. There's a bustle of activity, and she looks very overworked and tired, and clearly has someone. Both of you easily get the impression this is a field medic who lived too long and has been promoted to the point where she doesn't know what she's doing. And so this is where she's going to serve out the rest of her career, because she's not advancing anymore. But she has kind of picked up enough of the bureaucracy to get by. You met many people like this before, like frontline people who survive long enough wind up in offices. And yeah, it's
Peter Principalis, I believe.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, an imperial saint.
The
So
rock
Tasha,
of the church.
So you both want to sign up for the job to Wheatblood's plague investigation, survey, inspection?
Yes, we do have a couple others. They are tending to other matters. There are 4 of us total.
Oh, good. Yeah, we need at least 4. That's good. We are sending a plane out soon. We are actually quite short on medical personnel. There's a lot of wounded coming in from the industrial sector. That siege was, well, quite brutal on a lot of people. It's not even something we need like really trained people for. We just, if you have eyes and ears, you can tell if somebody has plague or not. And we have a servo skull that can detect signs of plague, and any sort of equipment or expertise you can will be great. The real problem is, and I have to be questions. She sighs. Are either of you assassins?
You have to tell me if you're an assassin.
I was trying not to make that joke because I didn't want to break character. Thanks, Dad. No, apologies. That's a strange question to ask.
Are you saboteurs?
No.
Are you spies?
No.
Okay, so this is we're with the capital. We're working through that, and so we're officially neutral in the war. Understand? And so what has happened is we used to be a lot more lax in our signups, and House Paxo and both houses would send in assassins and spies and saboteurs, and things would get complicated very quickly. And so now I could requisition a psyker to read your minds. I could investigate your backgrounds, but that takes a lot of solars and a lot of times, and we need to find out about this plague now. Also, we're going to be very diligent in scanning your equipment before you leave, anything you bring with you. So there's going to be absolutely no weapons or anything that can be used as a weapon or a device of sabotage. So do you understand that?
Yes, understood. However, how are we supposed to defend ourselves?
Well,
keep ourselves safe.
Well, you see, you don't have to go with the trucks. I know bandits attack those all the time. We have a plane that is dropping off some much needed supplies for the villagers there, because they are also officially neutral. They are, although House Paxo is holding the village right now, the problems is the rumors of this plague have kept them isolated, and so they're running low on supplies. So we're dropping off supplies and all of you to sort of like detect if there's an active plague outbreak. It should be very obvious if there is or not. But they'll drop you off, and then you'll be there a week, and then you make your report, and then you come back. But you won't have any weapons, but you'll be behind inside the town, which is protected by what I understand is a tank company and a platoon with armored, and it's not an active battle right now. In fact, both sides are avoiding it because they are afraid of, all these rumors of a plague. So you're actually be quite safe from the war. But yeah, that's the reason why we're so desperate for signups. No one wants to go without their weapons, but we can't. If we allow people to take their personal weapons, and even I mean, obviously scalpels will be okay, but anything larger than that, we both House Paxo will probably just shoot you on sight for being a potential assassin. So, but it's 300 solars for a week of work. That's very good wages, and you all are recent arrivals, so you probably haven't been pulled into the war yet, unless you're ringers, in which case it's a very wasteful spin for whoever sent you to just take out a tank company. I don't know. I'm very tired, and you look like I can trust you. Can I trust you?
Yes, you can trust us. We do not have a horse in this race.
Great. I don't know what a horse is, but I get the meaning. So do you have any questions for me? Right. So yeah, just here's a day slate. Sign your names, the names of your friends. Be at the aeroport tomorrow at dawn with your gear. It will be inspected, and again, no weapons. So thank you. You're doing your service for the Imperium, and you should be fine. Also, we don't have any filtration or protective gear for you. So good luck. All right. So
as we walk away, I just kind of lean into Khurt, and I'm just like, they could have led with that. No protective gear. Great. Fantastic. I know what we're doing for the next few hours.
Yeah, you have about I would say you do this like late morning. So by the time you get to see Tasha. So yeah, you have a little under a day to prep for this. But yeah, you could check out. Yeah, what do you want to do, Khurt?
Well, should probably get some respirators, or at least filtration plugs for everybody. And then I've got to figure out a way to sneak in some weapons.
Yeah, that seems very useful. So if you want to buy them at book prices, that's fine. I'd say just take an hour or two to find one on the market at those prices. If you want to haggle, that would be a social test. But if you fail, it'll go up, by a certain amount, depending on how badly you fail. So, and if you want to find another merchant, you can. You just have to spend more time. Like you spend all night, like finding the best, cheapest respirators and filtration plugs money can buy. But yeah, it depends on how much time. You only have so much time.
Yeah. What's the prices on?
Okay.
Respirator gas mask is 50 and filtration plugs are 20. So not the worst.
Okay. It's the four of us. That's 200 solars. Unless does anybody have a gas mask or respirator already?
I don't believe. Where's my equipment?
I have ugly filtration plugs.
Okay.
They still work. I don't. Yeah, I don't. Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's equipment modifier tags, so that is undoubtedly have some sort of game mechanic effect. But I'm not going to worry about that.
Yeah, weirdly you come back really quick. You need filtration plugs, and I reach into a pocket that you didn't know I had and pull out a bunch of filtration plugs.
Tools and equipment. Here we go. Yeah.
All right.
I have these from the city.
I just imagine because they're described as ugly, we get like one of those Ren and Stimpy, like super detailed, like drawings of these incredibly horrendous looking filtration plugs when you pull them out.
I imagine that they're like antiques. Like the antiques, they're kind of like when someone's like, "Oh my god, look at this cool glass." And it's like one of those uranium glasses, and you're like, I don't think you should hold that. And I have these like terrifying looking antique plugs that you're like, that's leaking something.
Oh, there actually is
on my face.
There actually is a game mechanic purpose. Ugly on page 122. At the game master's discretion, a suitably ugly item may impose a -1 success level on fellowship test. Well, you're already at disadvantage, so it really doesn't matter. So, yeah, you're even less persuasive with them. But, yeah. So, you can buy that. Yeah, that stuff, that'll, obviously, the filtration and all that stuff will be fine. Yeah.
The main difference seems to be that filtration plugs give you a +2 success level on fortitude tests to withstand, like, hazardous, stuff that you breathe. Whereas gas masks and respirators give you an automatic success, but you have disadvantage on sight-based awareness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense.
It's a question of, do we want to be completely protected and somewhat less aware of surroundings, or do we want to be more likely to succeed, but have the failure possibility, but be more aware of our surroundings?
Mm-hmm.
Or a mixture. We don't all have to pick the same one.
Yeah, my fortitude is pretty high. What is it? Surprisingly high. I remember I was looking at it and being like, I'm just fortitude out. Yeah, mine's 42. So I have worn these. I'm happy to wear the plugs. I actually think that they're kind of like, for babies. Like only the weaklings in the Undercity would wear the plugs. Like there was no need for that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. So it sounds like you're good. So yeah. Does anybody have any ideas on, you mentioned smuggling weapons in, or anybody want to,
Just out of curiosity, is my new toy a weapon?
The grapnel launcher, you don't know if they would categorize that as a weapon or not.
On what they decide. Yeah.
So you could go to the aeroport and ask. You do have an assigned pilot and plane that you need to rendezvous with, but yeah, you could go there and ask custom officials or the people there if they would consider that. Yeah.
We have a few difficulties in front of us. There's of course the question of, is it worth it to risk smuggling, or if we're going into a war zone, do we think we may be able to scavenge enough useful weaponry? Mm-hmm. But also the question of how we get back with our prisoner is also on the table.
Mm-hmm. We pretend they're dead and bring them back in a body bag. Dead of the plague.
Yeah, if you have enough sedatives, like the plane ride is only like a couple of hours, like 3 or 4 hours. So yeah.
I was thinking we could hit them.
Oh my god.
You get like 6 freebies.
I'm sure our new servo friend could help with doling out the right levels of anesthesia.
Oh, yeah.
Can we use the servo as a weapon?
I believe it is an instrument of healing, as I understand.
Yes, but if I pick it up and throw it at someone.
Please don't do that. That's very expensive.
Then it would no longer have its... Yeah, it would no longer have its use as an instrument of healing, and would be less useful overall, even if useful in a moment.
I'm just going to also say it doesn't like being touched. If you try and grab it, it's going to try and fly away. You'll scare it away.
I'm imagining it having the exact same voice as Mort from Planescape Torment.
Yeah, basically. Oh shit! Now what are you doing?
Ross, can I rapport myself into getting some weapons smuggled in?
Sure. How are you doing? Are you just going to the aeroport and schmoozing?
Yeah, I want to try and talk to whoever loads the planes. And
I'll say it's a +10 right now because everyone's a good move because of the party. Yeah.
I also want to go to the airport and ask if I can have my grapnel launcher.
Okay.
What if they take it from me? This is my new toy. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I got a 43 on 53 with the +10. So that is +1 success level.
Yeah. So you're talking to one of the mechanics, and he's like, "Oh yeah, no, I mean, I wouldn't go out the city without a weapon. I don't go. Hell, I carry." He shows you a Lay's pistol tucked into his suit, his little mechanics overalls.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I totally get you. I mean, that's why they both had such a hard time getting people to sign up for that job. Plus, also the plague. I mean, 300 solars is really tempting, but you can't spend it if you're dead.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Yeah, the problem is because of this crackdown, there used to be a guy, Eliza. Well, we're not sure who Eliza really is, but that's the name they use. Anyways, Eliza makes custom cargo crates with little hidden compartments. And, he gives you directions to an alley and a very complicated knock system. You're supposed to knock on the wall with the graffiti labeled with the tech pre-symbols. What do you call them? Numbers. Yeah. And you give them that knock, and Eliza's supposed to answer, and you tell them how big of a crate, and they'll quote you a price and give them turnaround time. Well, actually, I mean, you just have to accept whatever they have on hand, right? You're not going to have to, if you're leaving soon, you're not going to have time for them to make something for you.
Yeah.
So that's your best bet outside of bribing the pilot, but Who's your pilot? You look at the little sign-up sheet, and let's get a name.
I could be the pilot.
Malia.
No, works for them.
Yeah, let's see. Old Jock. Oh, yeah, Malia's very devout, so very not prone to accepting bribes. Yeah. So, I mean, maybe if you have a silver tongue, maybe, but Malia keeps talking about the one time she flew out some inquisitors to some place so it could be burned down, and with beaming pride. And I was like, yeah. So
I see.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for the info.
Mm-hmm. So if you want to get to Elysia is, of course, because of the crackdown, you'll have disadvantage on your stealth test to avoid all the patrols. So if you encounter a patrol, you'll have to talk your way through, which may or may not be a disadvantage. But
what is disadvantage again?
I think you have to take the worst of the two numbers that you roll. So
yeah,
it's the
if
opposite.
flipping your numbers would make it worse, it flips the numbers.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oof.
All right. Well, let's try and sneak some.
Of course, you could fuck it with a fate point. Yeah.
Well,
I'd say it's challenging. No modifier.
Yeah. I'm going to have to re-roll that. That was just straight up enough.
Or you could. I mean, that just means you encounter patrol. They're not going to necessarily be hostile, but like.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a 90.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you spent the fate point, you would have gotten a 9. It would have. Yeah.
True. I think I want to save the fate point just in case.
Okay. Do you want someone to be with you as you're going, or are you just going alone?
I figured I would have vox beated everybody.
Okay. Does anyone want to go? Yeah.
Slight tangential, but we got the Emperor's Tarot last time. So if anybody would like to risk me doing a tarot reading on them, you could get it allows you to immediately recover 1 fate point if the reading is successful. But of course, if it is unsuccessful, you immediately lose 1 fate point, and if it fumbles, then you burn 1.
Not that interested anymore.
I can do this for any of us once per session. But I mean, since it says recover 1 fate point, I think this would be for if we have already used up some.
Used a couple, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. Secondary question. Do we still have the bomb collar?
I forgot what happened to the bomb collar.
Yeah, we do actually.
We used it to take.
Oh, that's right.
Back.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah. Yeah, you can have the bomb collar. Obviously, that would be contraband, but yeah.
Yeah, no, well, here's the thing that I'm thinking is if we have a crate that we can put stuff in, that could also say hold a body and the little skull that is sedating it on the way back, potentially. Just,
Yeah.
Okay. Meanwhile, Rabbit, what do you want to be accompanying Khurt as he does this, or do you want to be doing something else?
Yeah, I can accompany. Aside, I mean, I'm here to try and get as much as we can, and if I can be of help in this situation, I don't know how much help I can be, but I can try.
Okay. All right. And Lim, one thing you could do, because you've been drilling so much with the grapnel launcher, you could also disassemble it and then put it in with the Medicaid bag you have, and just hope they don't notice, and then reassemble it. Yeah.
Yeah, so Lim disassembles and reassembles it in a way reminiscent of a Marine trying to show off. Literally could do this in a blindfold, and actually breaks it down into such small composite pieces that it's not recognizable anymore.
Okay.
She's undoing screws, she's taking pieces apart. It will not probably be that quick to reassemble, except she's been drilling, so it's actually going to be not quick, but not as slow as one would think. But yeah, she has disintegrated it into its consummate parts.
Yeah, because you spend an endeavor doing this, you don't have to make any rolls for this. So yeah, as long as it would take you 2 hours to reassemble it, but that's it. You don't have to make a roll for it. So yeah, it's just component parts right now. So no one's gonna be, unless they were incredibly paranoid or an inquisitor or something, they're not going to be able to figure out what that is. So yeah. You so no matter what, you'll have the grapnel launcher, but it'll take you time to reassemble it. So Khurt and Rabbit avoid the patrols thanks to Khurt's expert stealth training, and find the particular alley, make the complicated hand knock, and you hear a metallic voice from like a ventilation grate. It's like, yes.
Told we can get a cargo crate here.
Oh, yes. That go shipping out soon.
Yes, immediately. We need something big enough for a person.
Oh, well, you're just in luck. I have one. I could sell it to you for only 100 solars. It's only been used once.
I look at Rabbit. Sound good to you?
I mean, beggars, choosers, you know.
All right. 100
All right,
solars.
All right, there's all you have to do is a panel in the wall opens up and reveals this long, coffin-shaped box on wheels, actually. A very secure, very rugged-looking crate. And he says, there's the eagles, the aquila on the bottom top of it. Rub the beak 3 times, and a little data pad will reveal itself. Enter in the code of the Emperor's prayer for Damnedon, and he gives you the numbers, and you'll reveal the secret compartment below. Of course, you can, of course, raise and lower the hidden compartment in this mode so that you can but if you're trying to hide a body, you need to have something convincing on top so they aren't going to look too deep. Yes.
Right. Okay.
Yes. Good luck. Yeah, you look at it, it smells a little funky. So, yeah.
Have something, Rabbit.
Yeah, I was just curious. What exactly, how was this crate used before? What?
Oh, for a body. I mean, a person.
Okay, sure.
Well, they were alive. I think they just voided their bowels a few times. I hosed it off, like twice.
Doing your dude... Sorry, I just made myself laugh because I was going to say due diligence, and then I said due diligence. That's where we're at right now. Oh my god.
Perfect.
It's actually pretty in character for Warhammer 40k.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, he that's why it's so cheap. Normally I'd sell that for 1,000 solars, but most of my clients want something fresh made. They don't want. I believe in recycling.
Good man. The Emperor approves of your frugality, friend.
Yes. I do the Emperor's work in my own little way, and so without knowing what to say to that, you just push the cart away or the crate. So yeah, because it can fit a body, you could fit a lot of shit in there. So certainly all your personal weapons. No one has any like heavy weapons. Probably no more than like a couple of rifles. Like Khurt, you have what's your biggest weapon?
My biggest weapon is probably my long las.
Okay, is that longer than a person, or is that like I don't?
I mean, that'd be roughly like just under human height.
Okay, so yeah, you could fit the whole thing in there. Yeah. Sorry, Lim.
I do want to say that came across as oddly interviewee like. Like, what would you say is your biggest weapon? I think it's my personal sense of responsibility, which is what has enabled me to thrive in a corporate environment.
Good. So yeah, nobody has any other like giant weapons that are going to take up the entire space. So you can fit all your shit in there, but the question is like, this is a approximately coffin-sized crate, and Rabbit, you can give me a lore check plus 20.
Oh my god, I'm gonna throw out these dice. That's an 88 again.
Okay,
no idea.
Yeah.
Did you not change them?
No, you know what? I used the same dice. I didn't, you know what? I didn't use the right incense. That's just, that's my bad. They are
classic mistake, really.
Classic. I'm gonna change dice because these bad boys are tired.
Okay. So you know what you know. You can fit all or as many of your contraband weapons and shit. aside from the grapnel launcher, as indicated. But you have a Medicaid bag, your servo skull, your personal armor is okay because that's fine. They give medics in battle zones get body armor too. It's fine. And yeah.
Well, the person who sold it did say that it would be best to make sure to fill it with as much, convincing cargo as possible. So perhaps we should acquire bandages, sanitizing materials, things of this nature.
Yeah, Rabbit, you have the highest Medicaid score, I think.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, so you can give me a plus 20 Medicaid chest, and you can source those materials and pack them out.
Well, that is a 44 under 54 before the test. So yeah, definitely. Yep.
Yeah.
I do want to add that Lim looks inside the coffin and just says, "Oh, it smells like the Ender Canal. It reminds me of home."
Yeah, it does smell funky, but that's what you with the critical success. But that's nothing. You have a bunch of disinfectant, and you can just make it smell like cleaning products. That good hospital smell, and
I made it bearable. Lim.
Yeah,
I made it.
Now it
bearable.
smells like dead people.
It smells like bleach, but it is
dead people.
It is filled up with bandages and tourniquets and splints and thermometers and just a bunch of stuff that you actually can find in the orphanary. Actually, no, in your secret prison, that has a medical clinic in it. There's a bunch of this shit in here. There's like pallets of bandages that you find in a corner, and like for some reason that they had a lot of this stuff on hand for just who knows why. But you find that and pack it up pretty convincingly, actually. So does anybody want to do anything else, or do you want to just get some sleep before you head out to the aeroport?
I got
okay. All right. So
nothing.
All of you push the crate there. All of you show up looking like you're just normal people looking for a job to help out and check for plague. And the airport, by the way, is about midpoint up the city. So imagine like a full-sized airfield, like in the middle of a giant metal tower. Like this is on the side of the spire on one of these in the Hive City. And so it is incredibly windswept. There's just open hangars, and you're high up enough that the wind is just constant. And you're going to taxi out to it. Basically, these planes take off and land on a airstrip that's like hanging off the side of the tower. So it is not for the faint of heart, but you can see them going up, and there's also hovercraft, and actually I don't know. No, there's some hovercraft in the Imperium, right? There's definitely helicopters, and yeah, just a hive of activity. But you find Malia and her plane. She looks at your crate, opens it up, gives it a once over, and does not critically succeed. So she does not notice that it's a smuggler. It has false stuff, and just kind of like, all right, you can see them loading up pallets of food, corpse starch rations, and that kind of thing. Grox, dried out Grox meat for Wheatblood. And she says, well, I see you have some filtration plugs and respirators. That's good. There hasn't been an official notification, but here's my Vox code. If you want, I have contacts in the Inquisition. If you find signs that this is anything other than a natural plague, let me know, and your service will be remembered. You'll be heroes of the Imperium in your own way. She smiles. Not everyone gets to do that. Not everyone gets to be a hero. You can.
Do you have reason to believe that it's unnatural in nature?
Well, I mean, it's a plague, maybe. And those are just, how chaos is. I'm not going to say his name, but one of the gods is, that's his thing. And if it's him, then I'll tell the Inquisition. The Inquisition will just flatten the entire town and save this planet, probably. Mm-hmm. So she smiles, beaming at the idea. And you all strap into the cargo plane. You're the only passengers. It's just you and a bunch of cargo. So, yeah.
Lim has learned enough social skills, refined herself enough to wait until the pilot is gone, and leans over to very confidently whisper to her compatriots, if it's chaos, I can tell you.
So all of you taxi out to this airstrip hanging off the side of the building. And this is like a big cargo plane. Think of like a Hercules, something that is just absolutely massive. You're just surrounded by pallets of supplies. And you can feel the plane vibrate from the wind shear a little bit. It is incredibly loud in here. It is not very well insulated. And the plane taxis off and kind of has to fall a bit for it to really catch up. So there's a bit of like not quite free fall. There's nothing you can do but hang on. But the plane does, swing upward, and you're off to Wheatblood. So does anybody do it? Yeah.
Lim, like during that like stomach churning moment, Lim like laughs and claps and goes, "I love this land spaceship."
And how are the rest of you dealing with the flight, Rabbit?
It's very different than a spaceship. It feels very different, like similar, but very strange. It's hard to kind of put into words, but I'm definitely taking notes because for me, I would like to be able to compare and contrast the differences at a later time and write up documentation on this because I do think it is a fascinating phenomena that we are experiencing right now.
Yeah, it's colder, it's noisier, it vibrates so much. Spaceships are practically still compared to this thing. You think it's going to like vibrate into pieces any second now. But yeah, it's quite fun. So you're just kind of like mentally taking notes about everything. Khurt, what about you? How's Khurt handling the plane trip?
Let's find out. What would you?
And there's a discipline fear test if you want to do
that. Yeah, that one.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right.
So 69.
Nice.
Out 37.
Even though I gave you a bonus, it wouldn't. Yeah. I'm not going to give you
3 success levels. Hooray!
Yeah, you are green and just cold sweats. This is. Did you ever train in a plane before, or were you always on the ground?
I think I've largely been on grounds. Like anything plane-like would have been like a landing ship kind of deal. And I would imagine those feel a little bit different than like, our basically modern day style airplane. So yeah, I'm not real used to this.
All right. Yeah. So yeah, Kurt's not looking good. And the Harrow, what about you?
Yeah, the Harrow just seems uncomfortable and doesn't. This device operates on a logic that I do not understand, and therefore deciding to pay attention to other things. They're just closing their eyes and thinking about whether or not this is going to be some sort of psyker influenced plague or what. I'm gonna calm myself by thinking of chaos warping flesh into unseen horrors. That's what I'll that's what I'll do.
Feel like I should make you do a corruption test for that, but that sounds like
how does that work?
Talk. Yeah,
I don't know.
We'll find out sooner or later, maybe.
Good.
So yeah, you look out the windows though. You can see you're flying over distant. Far below you are just vast fields of grain, and you actually see a tank battle being fought. You see a few Leman Russes fighting other Leman Russes. Using the cornfields and wheat fields for cover and occasional trees as they, it's like a naval battle, but on land, and it is quite dramatic. You see a tank explode in the distance, far, far below you. You're not sure. You can't make out what the livery of either side, so you don't know who's winning the battle. So yeah, but that you pass through that. And then you can just see more devastated farmland below, burned out villages and houses and cratered fields and rivers choked with broken vehicles. But you get further and then you get to the point where you can actually see the ocean. This is the coastline. This is the end of the ag sector to the coastline. And you can see fields that are mostly untouched. Very few damaged or destroyed vehicles left behind. This sector, part of the ag sector, seems fairly calm, but you can see the village is right up against the rocky shore We're on a cliff overlooking a beach below, stony beach below, and farm fields all around it. Yeah.
This is actually where Lim has her moment because she has never seen an ocean before.
Oh, yeah. How's Lim handling this?
She has been really enjoying this so far and doesn't quite understand, like, she's not dumb. Like, she does understand that things are smaller when they get further away, but like she doesn't quite understand like what farmland looks like, that these are houses. Like she knows that she's looking at something very far away and it's therefore smaller, but she doesn't know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But she's gotten kind of tired of the vibrating and is feeling like a little bit motion sick now.
Mm-hmm.
And the ocean just that's the most horrible thing she has ever seen in her life. Terrifying.
Yeah.
What is that? What is it? What is that? Is that chaos? Is that chaos? What is it?
The ocean?
Yes. What is wrong with it?
It's full of water.
Why does it look like that? All blue. Doesn't it be like green?
And it's moving.
It's moving, and I can't even see where the pipes are. Where are the pipes?
There aren't any. This is a naturally occurring thing. It is a
thing. It is a terrible thing. Is that? Should we stop that?
No, it's actually quite perfectly normal. And because at this point, Rabbit finds this actually really curious and entertaining. So she's going to take just a half second to make it slightly worse and inform Lim. There are creatures that live in there, you know.
But how will they live without the refuse from the pipes? What will they feast upon?
Each other.
Oh.
Or you, depending on the creature, I suppose.
How big are they?
Well, that depends an awful lot on where you find them.
Oh. I am done now with the sky ship.
Well, it's fortunate because you're coming in for a landing. There is an airstrip outside of it is a walled town, you know, but it's like stone, you know, it's not with some metal. Like it's not like a military grade wall. It's obviously hand built by the villagers over the centuries. But they did make an airstrip. That seems to be more recent, maybe only a century old. And it is, sorry.
A very quick meta note. I actually did not see the ocean myself until I was 9. And I had a reaction much more like rational, but also very much like, oh my God, they just let that out there where people can touch it. It seems dangerous.
Yeah, I can believe that. Yeah.
And then I couldn't figure out why it was weird. And my mom was like, oh yeah, it's because it's the first time you've ever smelled real salt water.
Oh yeah. I remember
salt madness.
Oh no, not salt madness.
Important question. Did you see like the Atlantic or the Pacific?
I was in Gulf Shores, Alabama.
That would be the Gulf.
You didn't see the ocean. You saw the Gulf of Mexico.
I saw the Gulf of Mexico. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because the only reason I ask is because the Pacific is the best smell and the Atlantic smells like nothing and is a garbage ocean. You heard it here.
Shots fired.
Shots fired.
Takes.
I will.
Me, ma'am.
The Atlantic is the worst.
Oh, we got an Atlantic stand over here. Huh?
I guess.
Yes.
I will fight you. Let's go. Come to Iceland and I will fight you.
Game is over now. Now it's ocean fight. Atlantic versus Pacific. Whoever
New podcast,
wins, we
ocean
lose.
fight.
Here's
Which
the
is
thing.
ranking the oceans. New podcast.
You can read about the tides as much as you want until you see that it creeps like a living thing. So I was like, why does the place we were yesterday, why did it move? And my mom was like, because of the tide. I'm like, oh my God, it moves that much?
That's not a problem with the ocean. That's a problem with the moon.
Moon.
Yeah.
Yeah, just wait,
Title
wait,
lock, yeah.
thousands of years for title lock to occur, and that'll no longer be a problem.
Yeah, that's true.
Hashtag
So,
Morlocks.
yeah, you should read the accounts of the first wave of immigrants coming to Montana from Europe, like in the 19th century. How they all went mad because they or had nervous breakdowns when they were just on flat ground looking up at the sky.
Ooh,
Similar,
big skies, don't like.
yeah, big skies. Similar kind of like phobic reaction for some people.
There's right in. What natural feature of the planet gives you madness?
Yeah. There's a lot to talk. There's so many things to be scared of.
What's your favorite feature of the Earth that forces you to confront the horror of existence?
So all of you land at this Pharaoh Crete airstrip right outside of town, and you can see there's a couple of Lehman Russes lined up and a Chimera APC, and there's a platoon of soldiers ready at attention. Rabbit, you can give me a lore check with a plus 30 bonus because it's Astra Militarum. Khurt, you can do the same thing. This is identifying these people and what they're all about.
I got a 57 with like the 30 bonus. It'd be under 94, I guess. So yeah. It's gonna be pretty hard to fail.
60 under 64.
So you can read their insignia and everything. And so this is a tank company. There are 4 Lehman Russes. There's a platoon of soldiers, which is about 50, with all the sport things, with like 3 Chimera armored personnel carriers. So this is a pretty sizable force. I mean, well, by the standards of this war, not a whole lot, but certainly way more firepower than anything the 4 of you are carrying. And House Paxo, you can see the insignia. This is a company, based on the painted kill signs on the side of the tanks, that they have been successful in battle. In fact, the lead tank, the command tank, is an ace. It has 6 kills of other tanks. So
wow.
The main thing is the troops are vat grown. You recognize that division. These are not naturally born soldiers, but they are grown in vats by the houses as cannon fodder. So they're still people, but they're, grown up in vats very fast, and they are given a very rudimentary education and sent onto the battlefields to die. It is probably not as bad as, say, the Death Corps of Krieg, but like they're wearing all masks, and they're all wearing gas masks and respirators. It seems they're taking this stuff seriously. So, but yeah, they're waiting there. There's also some servitors there, industrial servitors. As soon as your plane lands, the cargo bays open, the servitors are right there. And they just immediately start unloading pallets. They're, again, big cyborgs that have been lobotomized. So they're basically, robots with little brain meat in them to make them technically human. Because there was a whole thing about AI 10,000 years ago, and they don't let AI run around anymore in 40K. So, Butlerian jihad, you might say. Yeah. But yeah, the lieutenant, or actually it's a captain, a woman, late 30s, a very cool looking scar on her face, walks up to you. She is clearly the leader of the area. And she looks to see who she should address, because you're all dressed as civilians. You don't have insignia. And she's like, who do I address? So who is going to step forward and fall on that? Rabbit, do you have any Astra Militarum insignia or dog tags or anything like that? Same thing, Khurt.
Okay. V not knowing much about the world, I assume that I would have to, right? That just feels like a thing that's correct.
You would probably have them, but I don't know if they would be visible.
Remember, technically you're here under the auspices of a neutral of the House of the Medicaid Office of Damnedin, so you're just a neutral, like the Red Cross, right? You're not like there. But you could always be having your dog tags out, or like some patch on your shoulder that represents your former services.
I mean, I have my sanctioned psyker symbol, but I'm keeping that to myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I kind of assume it's like, you always just have your dog tags just in case. So
okay. Are they visible?
When it becomes clear that she kind of is like looking and trying to figure it out, I think I will just like reach in and kind of just like lift them up and flash them, and then just put them safely inside.
A veteran. Hello, I am. I gave her a name and everything. Let's see.
I'm
here.
so sorry, V. And by
my God,
flash
like
them, you
ahead of
mean the dog tags, right?
Yeah.
You know what? I'm not going to respond. I'm going to leave that open to interpretation.
Captain Sasha Kalaza, and I am the leader of the House Paxo forces here. And you are, I assume, the leader of this Medicaid detachment?
Yes, that is correct.
And what is your name, soldier? Well, not soldier, but medic, I guess.
You may call me Rabbit.
Rabbit. And these are all under your... she looks at you, Khurt. Are you also a veteran? Well, if this week of work is House Paxo could always good soldiers like you. I can tell you've seen battle before.
Sure.
You're here on another duty, a very important duty. We've been having some problems here because of all these rumors. We have had a few cases of illness, but I want you to meet. She, has her little aide de camp, a little guy next to her. Let's see here. I'm trying to pull up his name. Yeah, my aide de camp. Lionel, but also I have my special assistant here, Gideon. But all of you look and see Gideon is right there with all of them in a House Paxo uniform. He's my special investigator for this. It's an interesting case. I'm not sure what it is. Something is getting people sick, but it's not a plague. It's only getting a few people sick, and we've been able to isolate and keep them. It's an odd instance, but with your medical expertise, I would imagine we'd be able to solve it. But getting here has been helpful in rooting out problems. And Gideon, of course, looks at all of you rather impassively. All of you, let's see, what is I guess presence is the sort of social picking up on cues.
Intuition?
Intuition. Yes, it's intuition.
What is my...
Oof, it's a 93 for me.
Mm-hmm. All
13
right.
under 46.
Okay.
Ooh.
Hell yeah, Lim.
So Lim gets it.
I use intuition, or I also have awareness, sinescience,
Cinescience?
The thing allows you to use awareness for psychic stuff.
I mean, if you want to scan for psychic things, but that's Gideon. Like you have his biometrics, like what he looks like.
Yeah, we'll go with intuition then.
Okay.
42, that's not terrible.
So Lim succeeds. So Lim, you instantly realize that Gideon realizes that you're a null. Like that is like evident on his face, and there is disdain there, and he is highly suspicious. So did anyone else succeed?
Yeah, didn't make it.
Okay. So Lim, you also got to realize, why would House Paxo need a special investigator? What does that even mean? This is really odd and unusual. So, but yeah, he is attached to the tank company to the leadership, particularly to Captain Kalzim. So that's odd. So, but the captain goes, for tonight we have quarters for you at the Slippery Fox Inn, the village. You'll be able to review the documents tomorrow morning at the council house. We have our own barracks. We've kept them isolated. We'll be communicating over Vox. I have a Vox unit. You're a veteran. We can just communicate with that. I've been trying to keep my soldiers isolated it's just really putting it into these rumors so people will know that they can come here and drop off more supplies. These supplies in particular are very valuable. In some ways, it's been useful. We've been able to repair all of our vehicles and get some training in, but the Paxo High Command won't send us out as long as we're under this cloud of suspicion. So we really need somebody to deal with this. So, well, anyways, I will have the servitor take you to the Slippery Fox Inn, and I'll see you can report tomorrow morning at the council house and box me if you need anything else. But otherwise, I don't think hopefully you can just get your report in and clear this up and we can be on our way. All right. Good night. Yeah. Sasha, the captain turns around and walks off, and Gideon shoots Lim a dirty look, but says nothing apparently. At least that's while you're in sight of them. So yeah, did you make your awareness psi test there?
Oh no, I didn't try.
You didn't try.
I thought it was going to be one or the other. It was.
Yeah. Were you focusing on the intuition? So if you're focused on the
intuition, because I failed my intuition. So.
Okay, yeah. All right. Well, military people are just like that. Yeah. It's fine. So, yeah, there's a servitor finishes unloading and perhaps follow me. I will take you to the Slippery Fox Inn. And But yeah, you can see they have the gates open. It's quite idyllic almost. This nice little town at the edge of the cliff overlooking these verdant fields of wheat. You do see something odd. There's often one of the fields just on the top of the hill over yonder. There is it looks like was a stone statue, but has been blown apart. It's just a bunch of rubble now. There you can see some of the foundation. It's kind of hard to tell exactly what it was supposed to be. But yeah, you can look in, you can see the barracks are by the airstrip and they've set up their own fortifications. So they're kind of being a little outside of town. But Wheatblood has the Slippery Fox Inn, the town square. There's a council house, which is like up on a hill, a little fortified. That was obviously the strong point of the town before the barracks. There is a building labeled Greeb's Store, and there is a chapel, for the emperor, and you can see a sign you can smell the brewery from a distance, and of course there's lots of little houses, but yeah, there's people. There's no one on the streets, but you can see people looking at you through the windows or through peeking open from their shutters before closing them. Yeah, it's kind of like a Renaissance era, sort of like in terms of the art, wooden with some metal and concrete bits stuck in. It's very, this village has been around a while, generations. They've settled down here. Looks like it's actually fairly prosperous in normal times. You don't smell death, or it looks like the walls and the buildings are maintained. You do see a couple people that are hurrying by you, and they look relatively healthy. Maybe a little lean, but yeah, no obvious signs that major plague is going on. Yeah, but the servitor takes you to the Slippery Fox Inn. Of course, it's a servitor. You can't, it's just, you can go in the inn. You could poke around town. It is probably late afternoon by the time you get all settled in and have your little debrief. Yeah.
Do we have our shipping container?
Yes, you do. Yeah, you're pushing it with you, or maybe, or you can have the servitor carry it for you.
I figure we'll get settled in and then reconnoiter and get a game plan.
Okay. All right. So yeah, the innkeeper is let's see here. Ooh, Biddy Salmonskarn. Biddy. She's your innkeeper. That's a good name. She's like, hello. You have the run of the inn yourselves. We haven't had visitors in weeks now because of the war. They used to quarter soldiers here, but it turns out that's illegal. But since the first person died of sickness, we haven't had any visitors. No one will come to trade with us. So the captain was so kind to provide enough solars to cover all of your stay and food, of course. I have my yam soup and my yam jerky, and I hope you like yams. So yeah, she's very nice. You can ask her questions about what's going on. But she's just tending this place by herself. It's actually very clean inside. It's like she has had nothing to do other than clean this place up. Yeah, it's the cleanest inn any of you have ever been in at this point. So eerily quiet too. Yeah, it's actually very quiet. Probably the quietest. You can hear the wind and buildings creak, and a dog barks in the distance, and that's about it. Yeah.
Might I put forward that as we already know that the psyker is, not only our target, but is well placed among, the hierarchy here, and is going to be much more able to move around and know the comings and goings. I would say that if we split up in any capacity, no one should be without either Lim or myself in any given moment. Should not leave.
Are we saying this in front of Biddy, or are we going to our room first to I
was assuming that we went to.
Yeah. This is in your private room.
Sorry, that was presumptive of me.
Yeah.
Because because when we do go to our room, I say two very important things. The first of which is what I realized with my intuition, which is that Gideon knows who I am, is suspicious that he is in the position that he's in, and then that immediately leads into my second, more important question. What is a yam? Is it the tall plant in in the dirt
Do you
are
know
those
what
yams.
do you know what a potato is?
No.
Oh, no. It's a plant.
Is that's like a fungus?
Yes, but no.
Ooh, I succeeded my lore roll. I do know what a potato is.
Line of the night there.
I can go get one and show you.
So it is food.
It is a food. This grows underground and a plant grows out of it, but this part is edible.
And that's what the fields are full of.
All sorts of, yeah. It's not all corpse starch.
I will tell her that I enjoy her beautiful yam fields.
I'm sure she'll appreciate that.
All right.
But yes, I would say that neither Khurt, neither you nor Rabbit, nor you should be without either myself or Lim whenever we do not know the psyker's location.
That checks out for me.
Absolutely.
Right.
Otherwise, I find myself somewhat curious about the statue. I find ancient ruins are the sorts of thing I'm always somewhat worried about unless I can contextualize them.
Okay.
Growing up in the Underhive, the idea that things are not inherently destroyed as their base nature is not something that Lim has. The idea that the statue would be whole seems to be a very silly thought. Everything is broken all the time.
I'm curious how Lim is doing with all this quiet.
There are some parts in the deep caves that are very, very quiet. So quiet is not something that's upsetting. The wind is weird. But the quiet is all right.
Yeah, the wind is particularly, there's this weird sound you keep hearing rhythmically. Shh. Yeah, the waves crashing on the shore far away at the cliff, below the cliff. Yeah, that's a weird kind of rhythmic sound you're not used to as well.
Oh, Lim also is on board with assembling her grappling hook.
Oh yeah, so that Lim's night is sorted. Yam soup and reassembling the grapnel launcher. Yeah, Rabbit, what do you want to do?
Is there? I think what I'd like to do is actually talk to Biddy and maybe some of the other folks and get as much information as exists about whatever this plague is. Like find out symptoms and find out anything that I can about it.
Oh, sure. Hello, dearie. Do you enjoy the yam soup? I also have spiced yam soup.
What kind of spices do you use?
Oh, hazelburn and itch face and begonias. Oh, and we have the scrungle. It's in season.
I'm not a big fan of scrungle myself. So just Dad's face as I said that. I'm so sorry.
It's just fine. Love the Pacific Ocean, hate scrungle. I see what kind of person you are.
Look, it's not the taste, it's the texture. It just something about it.
Oh, I have it minced. I could if that's easier for you.
Oh, it is actually, yes.
So let me get some minced scrungle for you. And,
thank you, Biddy. Thank you so much for your hospitality. I appreciate it very much.
Mm-hmm.
So Biddy, what can you tell me about this disease, this plague that has befallen your area?
Some people have died for sure, and they were burned, but it was mostly the workers in the outer fields. They have their little hovels outside the walls, and they work the fields most of the year. Most of them have fled, but the ones that stayed here, tried to get shelter inside the walls when the fighting started, of course. But some of those who were stubborn, they stayed out, and then some of them got sick and died. And then since then, one of them, I think, was it Torum? Yes, one of the workers who stayed in the walls, he went out to see his family. He came back and got sick and died in the walls. And that's when all the rumors got started. Everyone's very afraid of someone. Everyone thought, as long as they die outside the walls, it's fine. But when Torum died, it was a bit of a scandal. And since then, I think it's been about, we've had more than a dozen or so deaths, I think, in the last month. One every few days, I suppose. But it's the the good captain and her special investigator have been looking and shutting down finding all these workers, all the field workers. You see all the hovel dwellers. I think it's all of them. That's where the sickness is. And then we just got to find all the ones that are hiding in the town and then get them out and get them back out in their hovels. And we should be fine. Yes. Yeah. You can roll intuition too, or yeah.
Oh no, floor dice. Hold on.
Floor dice, the worst dice.
It went under my desk all the way to the back, so I have to grab a replacement. One moment.
It's like the opposite of sharp edge dice is floor dice.
I know. Sometimes the sharp dice become floor dice. That's the
heresy.
That is a 19 under 35.
So yeah, obviously she's putting a big spin on it, but it sounds like it hasn't been like the casualty rate has been oddly consistent, right? Like one every few days. And it hasn't been spreading like what plagues are off to do, right? Like to spread exponentially. 1, then 2, then 4, then 8, and so on and so forth. So so apparently whatever, but they've also been isolating people, and they've built and sort of sending them out back to the hovels and outside the walls, and that seems to have also been limiting the growth by, it seems. Yeah, so Gideon is involved in picking who gets sent back out. So, and she hasn't been she doesn't know about the hovel dwellers. She only knows about how many of them have died or what's happening with them. So yeah, it seems Gideon has some sort of role in containing or dealing with this, or at least that's what's going on. So yeah.
What can you tell me about Gideon? When has Gideon been here the whole time? Was he brought in specifically to deal with this?
Yes. He's a special investigator from the elite of House Paxo, and he's a special doctor, a special medical investigator. The captain told us in a big speech in the town square, and he's here to assure us that it's a normal plague. Well, not a normal plague, but a normal sickness that happens because of vitamin deficiency and bad air coming from the war zones coming in and making people sick.
Miasma, of course.
Yeah. Yes. And so, yes, he is helping it. And certainly it's been doing a lot to quell, the chapel goers. I mean, I go to the chapel on holidays, of course, but those people who go every day, they think everything's heresy. They think everything. They're just begging us to tell the Inquisition. But the Inquisition has so many other things to do.
Would be a terrible sin to waste the time of the Inquisition when there's greater chaos afoot.
Exactly.
Anyway, no one expects the Inquisition.
So, yeah, you can give me a logic check. A rabbit plus 20.
Ooh, that is a 63 under 84. With the bonus.
Yeah. So what you realize is there's a real interesting dynamic here. The House Paxo doesn't want the Inquisition to come here because they lose this. And the people of the village don't want the Inquisition to come in here because what is the Inquisition going to do? It's not going to be good for anybody. But they also don't. And so Gideon's fighting whatever's happening here, but is obviously not as equipped as the Inquisition or as the full Medicaid office. So he's kind of more doing enough just to spin it to leadership, or at least to placate the villagers, to keep them from, rebelling or rioting or fleeing to other villages and abandoning the town, because they want them to stay here to work the fields and keep things running for them. So, yeah, Gideon is here to make everyone calm down, not actually solve the problem. Is sort of your impression.
My presumption then would be that he has at least one specialization in biomancy. I have no way of knowing if he would have other abilities, but that would be the most likely for helping to contain any some sort of plague.
Yeah, but without looking at the documents, you have no idea what kind of plague this is, or if it is natural or the work of you don't want to say his name. But there's a whole chaos god devoted to disease and plague, and they don't. Yeah.
Final question for now. The bodies of the folks who die from this, what happens to those bodies? Are they kept? Are they studied?
Oh, they're all burned. They're burned out in the big ditch by the Emperor's tithe.
Pardon, innkeeper.
Hmm.
Has there been any reports of, or rumors of, let's say, odd phenomena since the sickness started? Bits of cold or people feeling certain places suddenly more threatening than they used to feel? Anything similar to this?
I mean, everyone just thinks this is all because the bad luck or the Emperor's cursed us because of, the Emperor's tiding getting destroyed. She gestures in the direction of the destroyed statue. So yes, that was destroyed in the fight where Paxos took this Wheatblood from Vanderguard, and that statue, the captain used it as cover to sort of avoid a shot from an enemy tank, and it blew it up. It was quite a shame. It's been we'll have to rebuild it after the war and to resume, but we weren't able to do the harvest ritual, and so everyone thinks our bad luck is because of that. We weren't able. No.
I know I said last question before, but I have another one. When was the most recent death?
Oh, probably 2 nights ago.
Would that body have been burned by now?
Oh, yes, undoubtedly. They burn them as soon as they find them. So there's servitors that are tasked. Anybody can ring a bell and they'll come to your house, and if you have a corpse, they'll take it away for free, not a solar. And they'll burn it, no charge.
That's awfully handy.
Lynn, by the way, is not part of this conversation. She is very involved.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
With her grapple hook. So.
Yeah.
It's such a cool grapnel launcher. Yeah.
There is a giant cliff next to that horrifying
It's true.
ocean.
It's true.
She's hyped for the cliff, not so much for the ocean.
It's a good place to test out a grapnel launcher. Yeah. Anybody else want to talk to Biddy or ask any other questions? Or
You mentioned rumors. Which of like the rumors that have been going around are the ones that are talked about the most? Like the number one rumor that seems to be getting people most up in arms.
Well, I mean, that's the one that's keeping us sort of isolated, right? It's that it's obviously the sign of chaos. It's a sign because we weren't able to get the Emperor's blessing by doing the harvest ritual, that we were invited chaos to our doorstep. Of course, it wasn't us. We wanted to do the harvest ritual, but they wouldn't let us do the harvest ritual because of this war.
Of course.
Yeah.
Please ask what the harvest ritual is. I'm sorry, metagaming, please. For the name of God, all I can think of is the lottery.
You know what? Just for funsies.
Lim, it's a normal Wicker Man like everyone does. It's fine.
What is the harvest ritual? What would need to be done to satisfy?
Oh, it's a normal harvest ritual. Don't you have a harvest ritual from where you're from?
And I kind of like gesture to the fact that like I am very obviously not Terra born.
Oh,
no.
Yeah, I don't know what they grow where you come from. I don't know what kind of farming you do. Yes, the harvest ritual, the Emperor's tithe with the statue of the Emperor's hands out like this, you understand. Like just held outwards, and so we would put the best of our wheat, and also we would, if there was yes, the sinner, we would put a sinner on there, the worst person that we could find. And we would burn it as an offering to the Emperor, so that he may smell of our delicious wheat and then bless us, to know that we were still righteous, that we were willing to destroy evil and work hard to create good wheat food for the people of the Imperium, and he would protect us. And yes, but we weren't able to do it because of the war. And we had oh boy, what even happened to our bad person? He must still be in the council house jail.
Who is that bad person?
Oh, well, it's usually the worst person we can find. There's a lot of debate, but somewhat, yeah, it's always been a criminal. And yeah, so it was Boyle Scud. And
of course it was.
Yes. He was a scrungle thief and a scrungle smuggler. He Oh, he stole so much.
The scrungle must flow. Anyone who interrupts the flow of scrungle, clearly.
Yes, exactly. He even forged it. He faked. He got Grissom and called it scrungle. It was awful. It was flooding the market with his fake scrungle. And
truly the worst of us.
All many scrungle crimes, I have to say. And so he deserved to die.
Hashtag many scrungle crimes. If I don't see that on Twitter, I'm going to be so upset.
Perfect.
Don't let me down, listeners.
Yeah, 10 out of 10. No notes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, yes, we had to, but, he must boil and still must be in the jail. I imagine they still feed him there because, we'll save him for next year, I guess. This war can't go on for another year, can it?
No.
Next year, like a snack in the fridge.
Yes.
Now, because of course I am not as well versed as some others in these rituals. If you were to perform the ritual now, is it too late? Would you say
we can't because it had to be burned on the Emperor's Tithe, the statue?
Yes, I'm apologies. If we could get to the Emperor's statue and perform this ritual.
It had to be in his hands, and the hands have been blown up.
The statue is destroyed. That is, at present, not an option.
Yeah. So we'd have to repair the statue that take weeks.
Got it.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was my missing that point. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. No worries. Yeah. So, she actually pulls out an illuminated page of like a giant, imagine a pair of giant stone hands about like 15 feet tall, like held outstretched like this, palms up towards the heaven, and they just put wheat and other offerings and like one trundled up guy or criminal, and they would just set it on fire. And I
mean, as you do,
while chanting prayers to the Emperor, of course.
Well, of course, that's obvious. I may not know enough about farming rituals, but I know enough to know that.
So,
well, then I think that's all the questions I have for now.
Okay. Yeah. So the rest of you eat your yam soup with or without scrungle, and then you all go to sleep in a very, very quiet town. Is anybody taking watch?
I'll take watch.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Probably should dress straws for it, right?
Okay. If all of you take turns taking watch, none of you have to make a test this night, but next night you'll have to make tests to avoid being fatigued.
Because nobody went and partied.
Yeah.
See.
Yeah, but you all take turns of watch, but the town is incredibly quiet and still at night. Although you let's see here. Khurt, give me an awareness check.
Sure. That is an 11 under 40.
You hear a bell in the distance, and then shortly afterwards, you hear the distinctive sound of servitors walking. And then it's about 4 a.m, a couple hours before dawn. And you can hear the servitors walking. With a critical, you could tell that they're dragging a body.
Where's everybody going? Bingo.
So,
we're gonna go. Are you gonna wake us up so we can go chase down the body?
Yes, I will wake them up so we can investigate.
Okay.
Well, golly, gang.
Don't know. If you wake Rabbit up with that voice, she'll just roll over and pull the blanket over her head and just forget you.
So all of you roll out of bed, rush outstairs. The servitors are not fast. They're big, clunky dudes. They're not.
Sorry, you said roll out of bed, and I immediately almost reached for my dice. It's like, okay, what score does that go?
Crit fail. So you crit fail. You go back to sleep. Fuck it.
Yeah, I'm too cozy pilled, unfortunately.
Too cozy pilled. So you can. It doesn't take long. You catch them as they're right nearing the gate, which is open, heading towards they have a big burn pit set up outside at the base of the hill, not too far from the Emperor's Tithe. It's a starlit night, clear, so you actually can see a bit. It's not pitch. I mean, it's dark, right? But they have some lamps and other things, and just and you can see in the distance. You can see there's a couple of soldiers patrolling outside of the town walls, and they see you. And they you can tell that they are going to. Well, actually, you can see them before they see you. So you can catch up. Do you want to catch up to the servitors?
I don't know if they're going to eat that.
Would you like me to begin my invisibility nonsense for now.
That's right. Well, I have to drop back.
Okay. I mean, it's a big wide street. Like, there's plenty of space, and there's no one else on the street aside from you four. So yeah, give me a test there, and if you want to cloud the minds of those that patrol.
Let's see. That is 46 under a modified 100. So that is a 6 success level. I'm very good at being invisible.
Yep.
Actually, 7 because I have my psychic focus. So +1. Haha.
Okay. Yeah, you're super invisible.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, I'll go ahead, have my Vox on, and just be looking around.
Okay. Yeah. Just
also, I'm going to put in the filters. By the way,
there's just 2 soldiers. They're patrolling. They can see the servitor. The 2 servitors are dragging the body out, or carrying. Not dragging. They're carrying it. They're taking it to the burn pit. So,
What does the body look like?
Older man. It is dark. Obviously dead. Eyes are closed. He doesn't there's no massive trauma, but there is a bit of like some kind of liquid on his face. You can't really tell if it's spittle or blood or foam or whatever.
What style are his clothes?
Not dirt farmer, slightly.
Okay.
It's got a yam on his belt, which is the style at the time.
Yeah, he's above a hovel dweller. That much you can tell. So bed clothing. So yeah, but the fact that he has bed clothing means he's probably not a hovel dweller, right? Yeah, hovel dwellers just have the clothes they wear, and that's it. Yeah.
Could I give my Psyniscience awareness a try to see if I sense any a taint of the warp to whatever illness or whatever befell this person? That is a 36 under 52.
Okay. Let us make where is okay.
I mean, it's just a regular skill, so it's not it's like a specialization of awareness.
Yeah. I know. There's a special fun rules interaction.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Here it is. All right. Let's see here. Give me a discipline test.
Any relevant specializations I could use?
Resisting corruption.
Okay, no, I only have.
I
have fear.
I will. So let's see here. I'll check to see if it is. If you have a bonus or something like that. Yeah, no, +0.
Okay. Ooh, just made it. That's a 53 under 55. Yeah, 55.
Okay, so let's see here. So basically, by the way, whenever you gain corruption points, you don't gain any corruption points right now. You did resist it, but it's greater. Gain more corruption point than your willpower bonus plus your toughness bonus. You're in danger of succumbing to chaos. So that's sort of the threshold of how much bad things you can deal with. So yeah, it is foul and tainted by the warp, but it is faint. It is not especially strong. It is a subtle thing. So if you can make a lore check.
Not a well-learned person, but let's see.
Yeah, this is to sort of interpret this information. Okay.
60 regular failure.
Yeah, you know what you know. So yeah, there's some bullshit
Does
going
it
on.
seem likely that burning it will be enough? Well, I guess I failed lore, so I have no idea. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna, I guess, sort of creep away from the things dragging the body and get on the Vox and be like, there is definitely something of the warp to whatever has killed this person.
I can do it.
Do what?
I don't know. Make it go away.
Well, this person is already dead, so it's more. That's more of a problem for once we find the source. Mm-hmm. But I appreciate your zeal.
Yeah, this is very residual and weak. It's not an active thing. It's something that had exposure to the something warp. The only reason why you were influenced by it all is because you opened your mind to it to sense it. So
so okay, gotcha.
Yeah, that much you can tell. It's not an entity or an active thing.
The
it came the person came into contact with something warp tainted.
The warp corruption is more a threat to me than to any of you, so I would not be as worried about that, though I do not know how it interacts with...
Yeah, but if you want to get that body to do an investigation, detailed physical investigation, you have to get it from the servitors, which you can, but the patrol is, watching this. They're obviously have orders to make sure it goes off, right? And the soldiers are just kind of there. Also, because it's something to watch, because they're just, they get to look at the wall and the wheat fields. It's a very boring patrol. So yeah,
the yam fields.
Well, she has a yam garden. Well, yeah.
I would be unlikely to be able to retrieve the body myself from the servitors. If the rest of you have a plan for doing so, I'm perfectly willing to participate, but I do not think acting alone would be of benefit.
Yeah, my thought is we just say we are here to investigate the plague. We cannot do that without bodies. Let us investigate the body so we can do our job.
You could try that, yeah, for sure. Do you want to do that, Rabbit?
My metagame question is that going to require somebody who can talk well?
These are servitors. They're basically they're mindless robot-like side.
Show them your badge.
Yeah. Oh no, I assumed we were going to have to talk to the guards who are
the guards may technically they can't command you, right? Like you're brought in from a neutral organization, so they report back to the captain. But they're not going to interfere with you. You know that much. You don't have to make a test for that. So,
okay, cool.
You have a degree of autonomy in order to do.
Yeah, we're from Clerics Without Borders. So.
Yeah, yeah, basically. So
yes, no, then yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
No, damn it, Clerics Without Factions.
There we go.
So
better. You order the servitors to stop before they burn the body. They stop. They recognize your office, and the soldiers watch you, and you can tell that they're reporting back, but that's it. They're not even getting near you. They're not even asking you questions. So you can do whatever you want with the body.
Great. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, I would, I assume that at this point the Harrow has definitely said as much about it being the warp. Can I take a look at the body and see what I can find? If there's any noticeable wounds, things like that.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Incredibly dumb point of order to ask about is if someone hears me or I interact with them physically, they can see me even while I'm still maintaining the effect. So can my group suddenly see me even though I'm still invisible to others?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that makes sense. Yeah.
I wasn't sure if voxing counted or not.
The voxing is talking. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's funny to me. I just wanted to know.
I love it.
So so you look at the body. There's a yellow bile coming from the mouth and downwards. The eyes are glazed over. He's puffed up a bit, but yeah, you can give me a Medicaid test.
Okay.
I'll give you +10 because you have a proper kit and all that jazz.
Can we have our little servitor guy help with that?
That make it a +20. Yeah.
Oh, great. So that is a 37 under 74.
Okay. Yeah. So looking at it, it looks like the illness is interesting because it almost looks like he was poisoned rather than he got sick. But he shows signs of sickness. So with that level of success, though, you're guessing that it's a biological weapon or biological substance that was used to poison him. But it looks like a disease, but it's actually a poison. You don't know how infectious it is. It's probably not very infectious because, given the fact that this town is still, mostly intact, right? So,
were they able to perfect such an appearance? Perhaps they could introduce it to their enemies and then, as it were, drop the dime on them to the Inquisition.
Maybe, yeah.
Would be an interesting method of bringing greater authorities in on their side through subterfuge.
Mm.
Yeah.
So he ate it.
Or he was definitely poisoned somehow, something that he consumed. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Curious. Can I get this man's name from the servitors?
Yeah. You get the name.
Yeah, Ross, what name do we get?
We have such names for you.
You have names to show you.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see here. Gadthrall.
Sure.
Well, he ain't a thrall anymore, I tell you what.
Tell you what.
That's I love this 40K in name generator. It's great.
It's amazing.
Every name's a winner. Yeah, so you get that name so you could look at his house. I mean, it's still dark, right? Like this is only taking like 20 or 30 minutes to catch up the body and look at it. Well, actually no more, like an hour. You're basically doing this little sort of impromptu examination on the fucking ground next to the burn pit. So, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, tell me if it's weird. So, I mean, if they rang the bell, right? It stands to reason that somebody might still be up at the house that rang the bell. Correct? And you know what? I think that we would be doing a disservice for our current goal if we were not investigating as soon as humanly possible, right? Because you want to get information when it's fresh. Also, if there's anything to find, it would give them more time to dispose of any potential clues or anything like that. So how does everybody feel about going to Gadthrall's residence and asking around?
Yeah. All right. So all of you head there. You can see one house with a light on inside, through the shutters. You knock on the door. There is a younger man there. He looks a bit shocked, a bit confused. He's yes?
Hi. Yes. Were you the one who rang the bell for Mr. Thrall?
Yes. I am Augustus Benetian. I was his apprentice, and I am now without a master. I have to tell my family. Well, we were cousins, distant cousins, and I'd come to town to learn his trade, and I found him dead. He fell ill after dinner and then expired. I of course he didn't think it was that serious, but when I checked on him tonight, he was dead. I do not know for how long.
Did you eat yams?
No, we had dried grox meat and turnips.
Did you eat it together?
Yeah. No, he was working in the shop while I was cleaning the house. I doled out my bowl, but he took it with him into his workshop. He's a cobbler. He fixes shoes.
Apologies. Can we see his workspace?
Yeah, of course. Who are you? Are you the Inquisition?
No, we are clerics without factions. We are here on a mission. We are here just investigating this
of course
that has befallen.
Of course,
the town.
Yeah. So you get access to the workshop. It is filled with cobbling tools and cobbling supplies and all the things you would need to cobble successfully, as far as you can tell. Cobbling, but there's a bowl of grox meat and turnips on the. It is mostly consumed, but there's some remnants left in the bowl.
Is the servo's skull that we have, our little medical friend, capable of performing? I honest to God do not know. Is it capable of performing any sort of chemical analysis?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. I would like it to perform chemical analysis on the bowl and like individual components within.
A Medicaid challenge. No bonus. This is challenging.
Ooh, 37.
Is that successful?
Yeah. Yes, it is. My Medicaid is 54.
Yes, there's an unknown substance in it. I cannot distinguish it. It is a biological agent that appears to be hazardous. Can we determine
if it was cooked in or added after?
I cannot tell that.
Can I would like to see the rest of the bowls in the place, assuming that there are more than just
there are. Yeah, you can test all the bowls. That is the only one that is poisoned.
Interesting.
Or has the substance in it. Yeah.
Okay.
Khurt and the Harrow, you can investigate the workshop if you want while they're examining the bowls.
I was also considering, because I am suspicious by nature, investigating the mind of this person.
Well, yeah. So, let's do Khurt's investigation first. Yeah. So you could roll probably awareness or logic, either one. Yeah.
Awareness. A 61 out of 40 now.
Okay. Yep.
Water awareness.
Cobb, fixing shoes, huh? They don't just make them in a factory? That's weird.
Actually, you know what? I will flip that. I'll spend a fate.
Okay.
So that'll be 16 out of 40.
You're distracted by all this cobbling, but then all this cobbling equipment on display, but then you notice notches. So the shutters, so the bench that the bowl is on faces a window, and the window is normally has a shutter on it, right? But like the shutter has a little latch on the inside. But you notice that there's a little scratches, very fresh scratches on the latch right in the middle. So you think someone could have slid a knife or another narrow tool to lift the latch up and open it up and then get access to the bowl. So if somebody was waiting, they could have snuck in through there. You also notice various set of footprints that in the dirt right out in the little yard there that they have a little garden in, but it turns to cobblestone very quickly after. So the trail kind of disappears after that. But it looks like somebody could have opened the window, poured something in, and then disappeared. And then of course he would have noticed the window was open, but may not have been paying attention or noticed. So
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So meanwhile, do you want to investigate his mind?
No, I mean, especially if the window's been tampered. Well, I don't know. Yeah, that does seem like it would be a good idea, although there is a chance he will detect it. Actually, I think what I'm going to do first is I'm going to roll intuition to see what kind of vibe I get from this guy.
All right, sure.
That is 59 over 42, just missed.
All right. Well, there you go.
I know what I know.
Yep. So he seems fine.
With an unknown psychic around, I think I'm just gonna save that for unless either one of the other people in the group suggests it, or
Is it just like one person, one shot? And I have intuition.
Yeah, you could try. You have
46.
I forget if you have. Well, actually, you'll have disadvantage because he immediately distrusts you and doesn't like you.
Yeah, that's true. Disadvantage is like what, -20?
No, it's if flipping the numbers of your roll would make it worse, you have to flip them.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah. Weirdly enough, your social disadvantage comes into factor at this social scene. Yeah. So, but you and Rabbit are checking.
Oh, wait, I wouldn't be able to read his mind while Lim's here anyway. Never mind.
Yeah, I would be able to use...
I mean, Lim could leave and you could do it. And it only would give you disadvantage on your psychic test. You can still try. Because you can't target Lim, but you can target other people.
I keep forgetting that. Okay. Yeah, sorry.
Stupid question. Mm-hmm. Doesn't disadvantage mean that unless I have at least 55, I can't win?
No, you can always roll an 11.
Yeah.
That's it. It's a 1 in 100 chance.
Anything that like flipping. So you could still win with a low roll.
Like what's your skill in it?
46.
46. So like a 23 would still succeed because that would be turned into a 32.
Also like a 41 would still succeed.
So there's a lot of numbers you would still succeed. I don't know the percentage, but it's bad.
Yeah, it just
you could also for one roll spend a fate point to flip it back, right? So yeah.
Can I take it back?
What do you mean?
Back what?
I rolled a 99.
No, you just
somehow.
Oh yeah, all right with a 99.
I died in Palpatine.
No, he is. Augustine is very disturbed by you. He says like, "Are you here from the? Are you here to kill us all? You get out of here! Get out! My uncle is dead. My cousin is dead. I want you all to leave. Get out!" So he's furious and kicking you all out. So now you do have authority to do that, but that's going to escalate things. Yeah, neighbors can already hear this. So
Is there anything else that seems would be useful here? Or the Harrow's just sort of ignoring his shouts and looking toward like Khurt and Rabbit?
Yeah.
Lim is nonplussed and realized she should not have tried. This is a pretty typical response.
I'm assuming it was like Lim leans in very close and just that causes him to freak out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Gets a little too close, puts a hand on his shoulder by accident.
Yeah. So he is. So
Yeah, I would Khurt have shared the information that he's found already or not yet?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Then no, I think we can follow that rabbit hole.
Okay.
I know. I'm sorry. It's just, I couldn't stop myself from saying it. Sorry.
So exit pursued by screaming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, great. I'm sure his neighbors love him.
Yeah, you see more people peering out of their shutters, looking at you suspiciously. There's definitely, guess what the rumors and gossip for tomorrow morning or this morning is going to be. Yeah,
The usual.
No, you're a special attraction.
Do you suppose there's any way to track the poisoner?
I mean, if we have a chemical makeup, anything like that, we might have to run into an auspex or something like that to get.
No, you got the chemical composition from the servo skull, so from the bowl. So you know what the poison is, yeah. It's a biological agent, being used that makes people sick. It's just, whatever the sickness is, it doesn't seem to be very infectious outside of the
source seems to be otherworldly.
Mm-hmm.
We have tracks leading away from the house, but they head towards the cobblestones, so we kind of lose obvious tracks.
Okay, if they came here with, I guess I could just try this and see if it works. All it could do is maybe give me more corruption if it actually works. Since they would have come here carrying the poison, can I see if I can sense any, I don't know, trail of it using awareness psiniscience again?
I'd have to read it, make sure what it can do.
You are the god of your own world, Ross. Say yes.
No, I don't. Well, I mean, I don't want to make it too easy on you. Let's see here. Divination.
It's just under the regular awareness.
Regular.
Skill. It's just one of the specializations.
Oh, I see. I'm finding talents. What page is that on? Oh, there it is. Awareness. Can be trained other warp entities and other psykers. No, so it's only when if I would say for free, that whatever this substance is, the warp taint, you could detect it when it is being made. It's imbued with warp.
We'd have to be closer to the source.
Well, it's if there's a large amount of it, you could find it, but you would have to do a house search of this entire town.
Gotcha. It would have to be present to glean anything from. I can't. It's not like a strong enough taint to follow when it's not present.
Yes, yeah. That's the thing. It's not very strong. This is not like.
I mean, honestly, I feel like that's good news. Strong warp energy is generally not great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you get that information. By now, it is almost dawn. In fact, you can see the sun peeking. The first rays of dawn peeking over the horizon, or over the walls. You, in fact, do you head back to the inn at this point? Or you do know that there is, where are you heading next, actually? Okay, well, I'll just say you go to the inn. And by the time you go to the inn, there's an old man waiting for you. He's like, hello, my name is Archon Fron. I am the head of the town council. And I was planning to meet you at breakfast here at the inn, but there's some people have come to me and tell me that there was some sort of disturbance at the cobbler's house. And I said, I'm guessing you are all obviously from the Medicaid office. We thank you for your investigation, and I assume there's been a tragedy at the cobbler's. Was it Gad or his apprentice?
It was Gad, unfortunately.
Shame. Well, I am here to help you in your investigation. Perhaps it's better if we go up to the council house, and I can show you everything we have, what has happened so far. So there's a large fortified kind of manor up on top of the hill in the middle of the town, and that's the council house. We used to have a mayor, and we used to have a lord, and then his taxes were too high, and he was ripped apart by an angry mob. And then, of course, that rebellion was suppressed, and then we had a mayor, and that mayor had taxes too high, and that turned out poorly for him. But he went out fishing, and his ship never returned. And since then, we've had a council. The council's been fairly no rebellion since. So the powers that be find that quite useful, as long as we pay our appropriate taxes to the governments. It turns out the mayor and the lord have been skimming from the top. Yeah. So, but the lord built a castle, and the mayor turned it into a manor, and now we have a council house. But it's quite nice. So he takes you up there. Yeah.
While he's explaining all this, I would like to slip away to talk to the prisoner in the council house.
Yeah, it's there. There's a couple other people in there. You can see this is like a 3-story building with a basement. There's a little garrison in here, like a little section for like. There's a floor that you could tell that's where they mount the heavy weapons to shoot down. And they also have a meeting hall, and that's where he was inviting you. But there's also the basement, and there's a jail. What was the guy's name? Boyle. Yeah.
Boyle Scud.
Boyle Scud, that's it. Yeah, I love Boyle. So you find Boyle, and he is a miserable looking scrungle thief in a jail cell. There is a very old, rusty kind of servitor there that is laboriously making gruel from some kind of machine. So that seems to be his jail keeper keeping him alive. But he looks very bored, and is meticulously carving things into the wall when you arrive. He looks at you, he's like, I don't recognize you.
New here. You're Scud?
Yeah.
How long you been in here, Scud?
Late summer. My bad luck to get caught right before harvest time. One more haul, I say to myself, and then I can live like a king for years in the Hive City.
King off the scrungle.
Oh, the scrungle trade is huge. You can get me out, and I can cut you in. I have contacts still in Damnedon. We can make it out like king. We can make it out like kings. People love the scrungle here. It's medicinal, not just delicious tasting. It has 1,001 uses.
I see.
And 1 pound of scrungle, I can turn into 20 pounds of scrungle with the right. You got to dilute it. You can't. These fools are selling it undiluted, and that's foolish. You got to cut it. Yeah.
Well, what can you tell me? What do you know about the disease going on around here, Scud?
Oh yeah, nasty business. Is that what you're here for? Well, I'm clean. Look at this. As healthy as the Lords of Terra.
See that?
Yeah. Well, you want to know about it?
Well, do you know what's causing it?
Something out. It's odd, isn't it? It doesn't. Plagues usually go from 0 to everyone fast, right? Yeah. This isn't. Yeah, I don't know.
You ever hear anybody messing around with diseases, poisons, anything like that around here?
Oh no. This. I mean, in the Hive City, I know the Poisoners Guild. There's a Poisoners Guild in the city. You need some poison, I can tell you, I can get them. But like. Good stuff too. They say they get it from Xenos, but I think they're lying. Anyways, their poisons really kill people. I had to kill a guy who was getting on my turf once, but no, not here. These people are too pious and honest.
Well, I don't know if you were close to. Oh, what was his name?
Gad.
Gad. I don't know if you're close to Gad or not, but he's
the cobbler.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a shame. He made me boots with a little hidden compartment in them once. Pretty neat.
Aww.
Yeah. That was interesting. Nice of him.
Yeah, exactly.
We were at his place, and it looked like somebody managed to sneak his window open and possibly dose him with something. The so-called plague that might want a cobbler dead.
No, not particularly, but maybe it's not about him in particular, right? I've been thinking about this too, and I could see some things out from my window, and Arkin comes and talks to me every once in a while. He ain't got not much council business when everything's we're just waiting, right? And it seems every time somebody dies, the soldiers come in and they kick more people out into the hovels. And so maybe if I was someone who wanted more people out of the walls of the town and into the hovels, I'd be I would be, making people sick, poisoning them, whatnot. Those hovels, that whole area out there used to be. I heard rumors that there was some vault or someplace under the ground in that area. I didn't know exactly where. I never found it because I was looking for a place to hide out. So, yeah, but I bet it's in the archives. They have archives here with all kinds of maps and secret information. They never trusted me enough to let me in there, even when I was a citizen. So maybe I could help you find it.
Maybe
give me clemency. Yeah. Let me out on good behavior. I could be your undercover man in the hovels.
We'll see what we can do. I'll be in touch. I have to go talk to Archon. We'll see what we can do for you.
All right. So, meanwhile, the three of you, Archon doesn't seem to notice or care that Khurt is gone. And he gives you a list of documents listing everyone who's died, where and when. They have some picked, video photos of the deceased, which looks similar to the cobbler. And, he tells you a pretty, similar story to what Sasha and the others have told you.
Excuse me, Archon. I'm one of the things we're also trying to keep track of is how well the response to this has been managed. Could you tell me how quickly after the disease began to pop up was a special investigator assigned?
Oh, pretty soon afterwards. I think it's just a week or so. Yeah. They flew him in on military transport to get him here.
Lim has learned her lesson not to talk to anyone, as is her usual tendency until she forgets herself.
Mm-hmm.
But just to ask, so this is all of the people who died, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is there any particular pattern to where they live in the town? Like they're all neighbors, four corners, any shapes, anything like that?
I mean, no, you can give me a logic test. Yeah.
I don't have logic.
You're going to have it based on flat intelligence, if nothing else.
Yeah.
I am not the smartest knife in the drawer. My logic's a 34.
You're smarter than me.
I got a 24. That doesn't do shit for me. I also...
Wait, you succeeded on your roll?
Succeeded.
No, it's a 34. I got it.
You rolled a 34, but your intelligence is 20.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
Not the other
Okay,
way.
I
Okay, never
thought
mind.
backwards,
Never mind.
yeah.
You are not smarter than me. It's fine.
Yeah.
But, is there any really, Anna says, screamingly obvious patterns? Are they all dying at night? Are they all dying in their homes? Is anybody dying at work?
Yeah, all of them. They're it's very varied.
Rabbit, I would imagine you might be able to make something of patterns.
You can give me a logic test, Rabbit.
Are people always taking sick and dying immediately? Or is there sometimes people who are lingering for months? Has anyone actually recovered from the plague?
No one has recovered. It's 100% fatal. But it's like the cobbler. They feel sick for a few hours, they get drowsy, or they fall asleep, and then they die.
I'm going to burn a fate point to reroll.
You mean
spend? Or you spend, not burn. Yes.
Yeah. That is
Okay, that's much better. A 17 under 54.
17 under 54? Okay, yeah. So, this makes no sense if you're looking at this as an epidemiology thing, right? But you have more information than that. You look at this as what if I was an asshole trying to poison people? And suddenly, and I wanted to cover my tracks. Okay.
My asshole thinking cap.
Yeah. So one or more people are clearly varying this to someone who is methodical and intelligent and is undoubtedly a town resident. Someone who would not be noticed is poisoning people. That's the at least one person is poisoning people, poisoning their food. It actually is pretty consistently 4 to 6 hours after they ate, or they had a snack or a drink. That's actually something you're able to discern. So yeah, people are being poisoned by So
well, if we wanted to, I don't know how big is the town.
It probably has about 300 people in it.
I mean,
plus
the shotgun blast.
The hovels probably have another couple hundred.
The shotgun blast approach would be to just
shoot them all.
See it? No, we're using metaphor. Post up and see who's skulking about the town at mealtime and see if we can follow them that way. But that seems very likely to not lead anywhere.
Yeah, this person is like able is someone. Yeah, I mean, you got a pretty good success, right? Yeah, 17 out of 54. So like, this is someone. Yeah,
4 success levels.
Yeah, so this is someone who is varying their approach. They're targeting like people who took a sip of water from doing hard physical labor, to people having meals, to like poisoning food overnight, and then like
not as simple as one time of day. Okay.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. This is someone who thinks about. This is an intelligent person who is methodical and dedicated, and yeah, this is why this is going up sequentially, not exponentially. So it's a serial poisoning, but using a biological agent. So yeah.
What happens to the buildings and the land that these people are being cleared out from?
Yeah, well, some of them have been burned. Gideon has prescribed some houses to be burned. A lot of people are kicked out to the hovels. In fact, new hovels have had to be built in order to deal with this. So yeah.
I had to ask a stupid like meta question, but I don't understand why. Like, is it that the town is like seizing their property? Because if so, is it that they assume that they're all plague carriers now?
The town is not seizing the property. They leave them alone. In fact, some houses have had basically seals on them, like like this building is sealed by order of the town until further notice. Like they're burning it or leaving it alone. They're actually trying to do this right. So yeah,
houses. Well, I was wondering. I mean, I guess I'm just thinking out loud, not in character. But I was wondering whether or not they were trying to move people, if they were trying to empty the places so that they could use spaces in the town for a particular reason, or keep them or something, or if the goal was actually to move people to the hovels, like the stuff that we don't know about from Khurt yet.
Yeah.
I don't know
one thing you also realize, Rabbit, you have authority here. You can actually order things, and the town council will see that it is done. You can like set up blockades and checkpoints. You could quarantine buildings. You could burn buildings down. You can expect houses and townspeople. So yeah, you can do shit. You have a lot of power here if you want to use it. Of course, yeah. So yeah, Khurt, you can come back at this point if you want to, or you can talk it to Boyle, Scud, and yeah.
So Scud in the basement says all this.
I assume you do this a group huddle away from Ark. Arkin leaves, actually.
Yes.
He's not going to be there the entire time. He's like, here's all the documents. If you have any questions, I'll be in my office. Yeah.
Oh, actually,
drinking alone. Doing an official town business. Yes, definitely.
The thing that would immediately pop up to me from what Khurt learned would be seeing if Rabbit might be able to peruse the documents about the hovels area and what like is rumored to or used to be there. Question. Is that stuff that she has access to?
Yes, definitely. You can go down in the archives. That is the bottom of the town. So the town is there. So you head down into basically below the jail. It's the very bottom. It's like the actual vault where they used to store. Well, the Lord stored all his wealth, and then the town doesn't have any real wealth to store. So they're like, we'll keep our records here, I guess. And narrow stairway leading downwards. All of you pass by Scud's jail. He's like, hey, and then looks at Lim real weird. And like, oh, I don't. And then you go down there. There is an old man by a desk reading a book. And he's like, yes. There's just rows and rows of books and documents stacked up there. This is the county seat of the entire, basically all the villages would send in their documents. So there's, marriage certificates and housing, land transfers and land deeds and tithing records and tax records and just lots of fucking paperwork, right? Rows and rows and rows of this. Yes, can I help you?
Hi, yes, I'm looking for paperwork on the hovels just outside of the city walls. Looking for information, plans, building plans, things that used to be, things that are planned to be, etc.
Oh, I see. Is something wrong?
We are unclear at this point. We are investigating all avenues currently.
Oh, well, it's off in there. The light broke a while ago, but it's off in that corner. You can go there. It's labeled there with the land maps and ancient records. It's the oldest section we have, and the oldest in the archives.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Okay. All right, so you're going to investigate. Is anybody else going to be joining, Rabbit?
I mean, either me or Lim should, because again, no splitting up. Actually, someone should have gone with Khurt. That was a mistake on my part, but oh well.
Okay.
I will go with Rabbit.
Okay. What are you two staying in the archives, or are you going to go up?
Do we need anything else down here?
Nothing I'm aware of. I'm not especially good at document diving.
Neither am I.
Oh, well, if you mention this in the front of the clerk, it's like, we have a archival servitor there. You can address, and it'll help you find documents. It's off in that corner.
All right.
Unfortunately, I'm also very stupid, so I don't know what to ask.
Perhaps there are like documents. I mean, I know that it's like in the city, but like maybe there are documents on this Poisoners Guild, or you could look at like arrest records and kind of like try and find patterns for folks that have been interned.
Well, yeah.
All right.
I think I actually want to look into the records of what's the captain's name?
Sasha Kalzim.
Is she from around here? Are there any records on her, or would that not be?
Oh, yes, we have a house. We recently got a bunch of House Paxo documents, and so this is their land now. And it's over there in the middle, in the center section. I was going to sort them later today, but you can go at them first. So so all of you start researching something, I assume.
Yeah.
Okay, so all of you start heading in there. It's like I said, it's a fairly large archive. Just think of like rows and rows, shelves and shelves and shelves of books and documents. It's quite dusty. Very few people visit here. And all of you can give me an awareness check.
Fudge muffin.
Challenging.
A fudge muffin. I'm really into the archive, so my 76 is useless here.
I rolled a 60 over 41.
Okay.
And I can't flip it, can I?
A 60 over 41, you could turn it into a 6.
I actually am going to turn that into a 6 and use a fate point.
Spend, yeah. Yeah, all right, so at least Lynn gets it right.
I rolled a 10.
Okay.
Although I also had to spend a fate point to get rid of a trash roll first.
So all of you realize, those of you who make it, hear a metallic click coming from the entrance. And the two of you realize it is the door to the archives locking. And a moment later, you also realize you have lost sight of the clerk. And that's when the lights go out. And we'll stop there.
No!
Yep.
One thing I can say is Lim is not scared of the dark.
Yeah, so we'll pick up there. And questions, comments. I hope this was fun.
Oh my gosh, it's so fun. I love solving mysteries.
I love solving mysteries, but I also think it's very funny because it's kind of like, wait, why are we doing this?
Yeah, this isn't even your mission.
Yeah, like we could just grab our guy and leave, but we all we didn't even talk about it. We all basically agreed, well, we're not just gonna...
Grabbing the guy is a good way to get shot by all of the people who are meant to,
Yeah, well, so my thought is, if he's here to investigate the thing and we solve the thing, then he has no reason to be here anymore, and it would be easier...
My assumption is there's no thing to be solved, that he and she are in on it.
Oh, which is entirely possible, but then we could solve this problem, right? So by solving the mystery, we can solve the problem. That's my logic. And also, I just like solving puzzles. I find this very fun.
Look,
I love puzzles.
I think the most important thing to keep in mind is that Pathologic is a 2005 survival game developed by Russian studio Iceblodge. The game was released in Russia by Buka Entertainment in 2005, followed by...
Yeah, I watched the Age of Armor guy on that. Yeah, I wasn't consciously ripping it off, but I just like the idea of being in this isolated, folk horror town.
Yeah, that someone might destroy if the plague turns out to be too bad.
Yeah, I know.
The clerk locking us in the archives and shutting out the lights gave me very Name of the Rose vibes.
Oh yeah, that's right.
the archives. Yeah.
Well, you get to see what what's going to happen next. That will be very fun.
Well, I have photo visors, so I can see in the dark. So.
Oh well, yeah. The clerk doesn't know about that, so there's going to be a very interesting confrontation. But yeah, we'll see. Depending on how the dice roll, someone may have to burn fate points. But yeah, that's how it be. So yeah, we'll see what happens next time in the archives. We'll pick up from there, and then we'll find out what is going on in Wheatblood with the totally normal harvest ritual. And yeah, I will say, keep how many fate points you have left right now, because you'll restore your fate points after you get out of the archives. I don't want like having you restore your fate points in the middle.
No cheesing it, you fuckers.
Yeah, that's a little like but yeah, so keep that in mind. You'll get 80 experience points like last session, but you don't spend them, in any spends you make won't take effect until after the archives. So yeah, but
you can't purchase dark vision in between.
Yeah.
Wait, suddenly I can see in the dark.
It's so weird.
I've killed enough goblins to have night vision.
Look it.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. If we didn't say before today that we didn't have that, then how would you know? So, I mean,
I do want to point out, coming from the undercity of a hive city, arguably,
if it's not on the
this is
sheet,
home.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't ask what your 240 XP was spent on, so you could have said that. You could have, obviously I had dark vision.
We can lie to Rob. It's illegal and fun thrill.
I didn't actually, though. I put it 1 melee, climbing, dexterity, intuition, and piloting.
Yeah. Well, you got that grapnel launcher. That's definitely a good weapon to use. One shot, one kill.
I have it with me.
Yeah.
Oh, also, is that door wooden? Because...
no, remember I said the bottom level should be a vault.
Right.
So it's all metal. So you're locked in a metal box with this guy. So
all right. I am so sorry. I'm going to step away because I have to go potty.
Well,
Thaddeus,
that's the end of okay, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I rely on Thaddeus. I will rely on you to schedule for me.
Okay. Well, thank you all so much for listening. We'll talk to you all next time. Bye.
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 Stop.